Yo,
What's up?
yo, you don't agree that United States
Huh?
do you agree that United States is not the greatest country?
The United States of America is the best country in the world.
How?
Since we have the best president of the United States in the history.
That's false.
How? Like, why? Like, how is that false? Like, tell me each of the arguments. Like, why don't you think so?
All right, first of all, I like Obama, but I'm gonna be biased. He has gotten us into wars, has lost us lots of jobs, lots of money. Our education is shit. All he funds military activity.
Yo, what's good, man?
What's up?
Yeah, that was my buddy with the phone. He's from Spain, and he moved here. We're college students, and he just really likes Trump and our country. So
He likes Trump.
yeah, we all like Trump here.
Oh, I mean, everybody's entitled to an opinion, but
My cousin actually worked on the Trump campaign, so I was more of a Ben Carson fan myself.
I mean, like I said, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
One second. Just 1 second, please. What's up? Dude, if I got paid, I don't know if I have negative 5. Hey, sorry, man. What's going on?
Do you agree that the United States is not the greatest country?
No, I do not agree with that at all. I think the United States is the greatest country, and with all of its flaws, we should accept it for what it is, which is the greatest country in the world. Not to mention, I don't think that you can say the United States is not the greatest country without having a defense as to who would be a better country. Just throwing it out there that there are other good countries without being able to give any specific examples is just arrogant. That's just wrong. So if you have any examples specifically of countries that you think are better, and you can tell me why and give reasonably backstories behind it, then I can listen to your opinion. But if not, then you're just ranting about nothing.
No, the reason I think United States isn't the best, first of all, our education is terrible.
Okay, well, whose education would you compare that to, which is better? China, where there's communism and all that other shit going on. So some things you got to take for what you get. So
we're 37th in literature. We're 50-something in mathematics, 50-something in science. The only thing that United States done good is our military. We have enough military power for the next
really good military.
Combined.
And our education system, it is a joke compared to some other countries, but look at those other countries who are ahead of us and what they have to go through in their daily lives.
No, I'm not saying
we don't face. That's what I'm trying to say right now. You can't say that the United States is the best country and say it's because of education and for other reasons when you don't have a country that you actually think is better. If you can come back to me with a country that you actually think is better than the United States, rather than just jamming out facts about why it's not the greatest, then I can listen to your opinion. But if you're just saying that the United States isn't the greatest and giving reasons why it sucks, that's just negative criticism. You're not helping anything, and you're just you literally you're just not helping by doing that.
Canada is better than the States.
What's that?
Canada is better than the United States. If you wanted a country, Canada.
Okay. So give me some specific reasons why Canada is better than the United States.
Their social reforms are actually better.
They're what? Sorry, there's people in here. Let me go to my room real quick.
They help their citizens with free healthcare, free education.
Their education's better.
What?
All I heard you say was education, sorry.
No, I said they're the whole social reforms, as in free healthcare, which we don't have. And the education, free education.
But look at their healthcare. Canada does have free healthcare. Their healthcare is absolute garbage compared to what we have. Their lines are just as long as they were as if the system that was in when George Bush was in office. What was that?
I can agree with that. It's just
they do have free healthcare, but it's god awful. And Obamacare was a god awful solution to our healthcare problem because we do have a healthcare problem. That's true. And then, I don't know, maybe Trump could do something better. I mean, the Democrats got their shot at trying to fix it. Bush didn't really try to do shit trying to fix it. Let's see what Trump can do with it.
Yeah, the only problem I have with Trump is he's too hot-headed. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with Trump. It's just he doesn't know how to word himself correctly. So it takes off as people thinking
Yeah.
of
He comes off like, yeah, I get what you're saying. That's everyone's problem with him though, and I just say like, I'm just kind of at the point where I don't give a fuck anymore when it comes to that, because I haven't sat here and watched Obama's politically correct ass the past 8 years fuck up our country. So
yeah, that's true. That's the only thing that I'm okay with is I'm glad to see how a Republican's going to do it, because Democrats obviously aren't helping.
Yeah, they ain't doing shit after 8 years. And I mean, people say, oh, Bush was a bad president. Bush wasn't a bad president. He was put into a really shitty situation with 9/11, and that, like, I don't know, handled the cards that were dealt to him. Like, what else are you going to do?
I can agree with that, but
it was like, honestly, and everyone's like always shitting on George Bush for going into war and being like, why did you invade and blah, 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 and all that kind of shit. But really, in the end, if you would have like remembered around that time, if he would not have invaded, there would have been riots everywhere. I'm like everywhere. Like people would have been so pissed off for us not doing anything after we got attacked by terrorists, by planes into our freaking Twin Towers. Like he was put into such a bad situation that he did his best to deal with it, and I do not think he was a bad president at all.
Yeah, the thing that happened with George Bush was, like you said, if he wouldn't have done anything, people would started talking shit.
Yeah.
And then if you would have seen when he first went to war, everybody was with it. But then once they saw
Hillary Clinton was fucking with it herself, and then she goes like, "Oh, I'm not with it anymore." And she's fucking.
Yeah, the thing was, once they saw Al Qaeda was actually well prepared and ready to fight, then that's when people started saying like, "Oh, how can you do this?"
Well, it's not that they were well. I guess you can say they were well prepared and ready to fight. They were using guerrilla warfare, which is just a different kind of warfare than the United States is used to.
Yeah, like you said, well, they put up a good fight. For the military that the U.S., like the army that we have.
Yeah. It's because they fucking do the guerrilla attacks. That's what they call it. It's when they attack and they dip out right away. The attacks aren't meant to win anything. They're just meant to fucking cause harm and be terrorists and do nothing for nobody that's worth like productive at all. Like I absolutely hate the whole like.
How do you feel about it?
I don't know. The whole Muslim religion itself is a little bit of a question mark for me. That's not to say I have anything against Muslims. Like my sister fucking married a Muslim, so like I got no problem with it. It's just the whole.
Oh, you don't understand like the.
Yeah, it's the whole. I don't understand their religion or where any of it. Like I don't understand the logic behind the Muslim religion.
Muslims is to spread love. It's just how we have like in our police. Like there's bad apples. Like there's people who just take contact.
No. I didn't say anything about the Muslim people. I said the religion itself. It's
I'm just like informing you on the religion. It's like basically about.
It's like I said, Catholics have done their wrong. I haven't said it, but Catholics have done their wrong. Other religions have done their wrong. They've been bad, but at the same time, it's like the religion itself isn't like based around hate. The Bible isn't like based around hate, even though there is like slavery and some bad stuff in it. Like it's. In the ending, like it's based around like love for like Jesus Christ. While the Torah is based around hate. It's based around the what's the name? The prophet, like marrying 6-year-olds but not having sex with them until they're 9, and like killing people, and how it's good for the religion. And like, some people can say, oh, well, I don't take that literally. Well, it's like, but it's still in your Torah, which you were studying like every day, like as a religious person. Like you shouldn't like. I don't understand the logic behind that religion. It's just all I'm trying to say for Muslims. Not that there's anything bad with Muslim people. Like I said, I have friends who are Muslim, family who's Muslim. I'm just saying.
But then like you got to kind of think about it. Like now Muslim is a religion, and you said you don't really care about Trump. Like you just want to see Republican side. But the thing I have with that trying to ban Muslims thing is
it's not a ban on Muslims though. It's a temporary hold on immigrants coming in from Syria. A ban on Muslims is like such a short label for it. Like once you look into it, it's actually a temporary hold on immigrants coming in from Syria, because a lot of those immigrants are terrorists, and even though we have to worry about our people before we can worry about other people. So yes, I do want to take those people in who are in Syria right now and having that hard time. But by taking them in, we're putting us, and until that risk is over, that they can't be allowed to come here. I mean, it's gonna it hurts us. You
That's
know what
what
happened in San Bernardino and all the other terrorist attacks and minor shit that's going on. They say they have 10 off 50 states or whatever like that. So I don't know. They're already here, and
I thought it was a ban on actual Muslims and not a ban on immigrants from Syria. That's where
all immigrants from Syria are Muslims is the thing. I see where you're going with that, but all immigrants from Syria are Muslim. Plus, you can't ban someone based on their religion. So if we were to say no, Muslims can't come over here, that's a straight like strike against our religion itself or against our country itself, because we are meant as any religion can live here country. So we can't say that Muslims can't be here. All that we can say is that Syrian refugees can't come here right now.
Okay, now it makes sense because the media portrayed it as Trump doesn't want any Muslims here.
No, it's not like that at all. He doesn't even want to kick any Muslims out. Like he's fine with everyone who's here right now. He's like, the terrorists will have to like just do something like with what they have here. Basically, is like where we're at because Obama let them all in already. So that's where that's at right now.
Okay.
Yeah, he has nothing against Muslims or anything like that. He's totally it's portrayed by the media in a way where it shouldn't. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
And then there's I don't know. How many people are watching this? Random people just start watching this stuff?
I have no clue. 2, 3, 4, 7 heads.
Yeah. All right, well, but in other words, like we kind of went like way off topic, but you were trying to say how like I do think the United States is the best country in the world because I don't think there's another country that you can compare it to that's at our level. Even though there are other good countries out there, like I think we are the ones that everyone is trying to copy. We are the ones that everyone is trying to get ahead of. We are the like number one dogs out there. Other countries look at us that way. So why should we look at ourselves that way? Yes, there is stuff wrong with us, and I have no doubt in my mind by saying that. But you have to take that to get the good that comes with it. Like we wake up every morning and we're free. We can do whatever the fuck we want. We don't have to live in life being in fear of being shot unless like you live in like a really bad area or something like that. But it's just like you have like so much freedom here, and you just shouldn't take that for granted by saying that it's not the best country in the world.
Oh, I don't take that for granted at all. But you got to think there's other countries that are free.
But it's like, okay, so you told me Canada, but the only reason you can give me was their health care and their social system. Like, there's a lot more stuff in that than goes into an entire country. If you want to compare the United States and Canada straight up, I mean, I don't know. I can try to do that with you, but it's just like Canada versus the United States. I'm not saying Canada is bad, but I'm just saying the United States is so much better for so many reasons.
Like which ones?
I don't know. It's just I'm trying to think specifics right now because I didn't really prepare for this. I just downloaded this app and went for it. I'm just
The one thing I can say that the U.S. has on Canada is military. Canada's military is just a joke.
Well, we have the best. That's another thing. If you want to say military, then you can't just say like military. You have to go back in time too and say, well, we're back-to-back World War champs over here. The only war we ever really lost was the Vietnam War, which wasn't even like a fucking winnable war in the first place. Like everyone is scared of this fuck of us, and for a good reason.
That 100%. United States has the strongest military ever. Like if you look at statistics,
the only one that you can even compare is Russia. They have that new atomic bomb or whatever, new nuclear bomb that can like fuck us up. But even then, then go ahead and compare Russia to the United States. Russia's a lot better than the United States. So I don't know. I mean, the United States is a lot better. The United States is a lot better than Russia. Russia has all those fucking communist problems. I didn't mean to say that. I kind of slipped.
But if that's why I agree on with military power, we definitely have the strongest. The thing with Russia, if you honestly think about it, if they have that stronger bomb, United States definitely has a stronger one that it's like made, because the United States does that a lot. We build stuff and we don't tell the public until we use it. That's what happened with the A bomb.
By the way, did you know that Canada actually has the slowest, most expensive broadband in the civilized world?
Wait, repeat that.
Canada has the slowest and most expensive broadband in the civilized world.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
But I honestly, throughout Canada, it's
So
just
that's like one thing about Canada. I don't know. There's some other stuff.
yeah.
The mail service in the United States, by the way, is a lot better than Canada's mail service. Oh, there's a lot of people here. Sorry about this. People coming to my apartment. But yeah, the United States has a much better mail service than Canada would ever have. So you might as well not even bothering using your mail in Canada because you have like a slim chance of even getting your shit. Like, there's just so much like small stuff that you take for granted here that compared to Canada, like it's not even a thing. They have Canada's airfares are stupid expensive too. If you want to fly from one side of Canada to the other, it's going to be 5 times more expensive than a flight from New Jersey to Seattle. And then I don't know. That's just some stuff I just like looked up really quick, because I was kind of drawing a blank on what some of Canada's systems. I'm not gonna act like I'm an expert in Canada. I've been to Canada a few times and stuff, like and I've seen it. Beautiful place, but it's just like I don't know. It's when everyone else looks to us to like try to build examples of what they want their country to look at. Obviously, we're doing something right, and we're the best country. That's not to say Canada's a bad country and Canada doesn't have better things than we do. Like I said, their healthcare system probably is better than ours right now, even though we're both kind of shit. And there's like some stuff about them that is good. Yes, don't get me wrong, but just when everyone else looks at us as a model of perfection, why would we like say that? It's like every citizen in the United States should say, yeah, we're the fucking best in the world. That way we shit on everyone else. Like we should like come together, not be going apart and saying, oh, well, other countries have this which is good about them and this which is good about them. No one gives a fuck about that. We all like it really doesn't matter. Like we can use that as a model for our things that are wrong, but we shouldn't be saying that we're not the best because of like small minor thing. Not minor. I mean, healthcare is a pretty big fucking thing, but small things like combined into one. Like that's just not like how it is. Like there's so many things that are good about this country that you should not take. Like you shouldn't throw all of the good away just for the little bit of like bad things that have and say that we're not the best country anymore. It's just wrong in my opinion. Like if you don't agree with me, that's fine, but it's just like that's just how I feel.
That's the thing. If you want to debate on politics, people can go on for hours. It's mostly there's facts and all, but it's basically on what side you are, and it's a hard-headed topic, pretty much. Yeah. The other thing I have a problem with the U.S. is how hard they try and hide the bad things they do.
Examples. But wouldn't that be any government though in any country? By the way, I mean that is one thing. Yeah, you can say it's bad about the U.S., but you can't say that makes another country greater than us because every country does that. But go ahead, continue.
The thing is, people like they would even change it in our history books just to try and hide it. An example, if you want an example, look at the whole Native American thing in the U.S. I don't even want to say that because that's so old, but it's just a whole bunch of different things that they do they try, how they said like that whole he emancipated the slaves.
Oh, you're talking about Abraham Lincoln?
Yeah,
Abraham Lincoln was a racist. Yeah, he emancipated the slaves, but at the same time, he actually his plan before he was assassinated was to deport all black people back to Africa and get them the fuck out of our country. I think it was like there was some quote that was like I can't remember it right now, but yeah, he wanted to get all African Americans out of our country. Abraham Lincoln himself was actually a racist, and that's a whole different debate. But
you ever have time on your hands? It's a documentary on Netflix. It's called The 13th, and it talks about how he emancipated the slaves, but in that emancipation, he didn't free them. He basically gave them to the state. So
no, 100%. Yeah, there was multiple things that went on. When he emancipated the slaves, he was fighting for the Union in the North. and he actually only made the slaves in the South free. He did not make the slaves because at that point they're all gone. But the border states that the North needed to win the war, he did not emancipate those slaves. Everyone thinks slavery is the main reason for the Civil War. Then why wouldn't he free the slaves in the states that he needed to win if slavery was the main reason? He obviously did that because he needed those states to win the war and told them they could keep their slaves after. But it didn't work out that way. He just ended up. So there is a lot of things when you look back at history and you're just wow, that's portrayed wrong. But it's but at the same time, at the end of the day, he really did free the slaves. I mean, it's better than what they had. At least he thought something compared to what other people were thinking back then.
Don't get me wrong.
So I don't think it's a bad thing to look at Abraham Lincoln and say that he was a good guy. Because, I mean, compared to people of his era, he really was a good guy.
But the thing was, the only problem I have with that 13th Amendment is he didn't free them so that they're regular humans. He freed them to the state. So basically what he said
I understand that. I understand what you're saying. But it's still, it was a step forward. Back then, there were no steps being taken forward. You can do whatever the fuck you want with slaves. There's no system. You can rape them, do whatever you want. So he just, he was the one who took the first step forward as to freeing them. And I mean, he was a good guy. His system didn't free them if you want to look into specifics on it. But he did his best at the time with what he was given. And that's why I think Abraham Lincoln's still a good guy. But, I do understand what you're saying. That goes into a whole different debate with me, whether or not, the Confederate flag is actually racist. Because if Abraham Lincoln and the North were actually, for slavery that whole time, or, not for it, but just, not really against it, then what does that even say? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, all right, man. That was a good debate.
All right, man. Good talking. I'm head out.